T.
So today we have got an amazing show lined up for you today. And as I just mentioned, we are live at the Pop-Up Brixton. So guys, happy Jamaica independence. We are not in Jamaica, Kingston, even though we wish we was, but we're still kind of representing the colour as well.
We're trying, you know, and wherever you are, if you are celebrating Jamaica independence, we wish you the most amazing day, because where we are, the sun is shining.
That's
Yes,
right.
it is.
So we give thanks, and we are just going to have fun today. We're really excited to be here. It's actually the Sound Bank's first year anniversary, and so they've had a workshop for 2 days, haven't they?
Yep. And the event is being supported by Vista Print.
Vista Print, that's
Vista
right.
Print. And I am drinking a bit of rum, so guys, do excuse
You know what, no one
me.
would know what's in your
Cheers.
cup if you didn't tell them.
Cheers.
But I'm
Happy Independence.
Yeah.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. And
And
cheers
cheers
to
to
you. Okay, so today's topic, we are going to be talking about the journey of a creative. The journey of a creative, because we are all creatives, right? In our own
Absolutely.
independent way. So what we're going to be discussing today on this live podcast is how the journey started with Now Chat Show. Now, if you guys have never heard a story, today is the day. And if you're catching a replay, it's all good because you're going to learn about us individually. All right, so as you know, my name is Caz Mac, and I am the founder of Now Chat Show, which is No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. It started off back in 2014. I had a vision. No, it wasn't a vision and a dream or anything like that. You know, when you see these like clouds, like ting. No, it wasn't like that. It was literally, I was really like so depressed. I went away on a Christian retreat because I was a Christian back then. No, I'm not a Christian anymore, but I do have those strong beliefs. And when I was actually at the retreat, it just came to me to have a talk show, to talk to inspiring women, you know, not ordinary women who've just been through like life crazy journey and just come out on the other end. So I'm just going to kind of fast forward. But with that was back in 2014. I did absolutely nothing. I literally felt so nervous that I just, you know, like, you know when something comes to you and you just think to yourself, but how am I going to do it? Like, who's going to listen and all that kind of stuff. So I just didn't do it. I just procrastinated for like 2 years. And I remember being in church and I mentioned it to my pastors and I said, look, I have this vision, this idea of doing like a talk show. And I told the pastor the name of the show, and it was like No Ordinary Woman. And my pastor, being the pastor he is, Pastor Timothy Ramsey, big up yourself, he was like, Caz, you know that means now. And I was like, what does he mean now? He took the N, the no ordinary, the O for ordinary. So no ordinary woman, meaning now. And I was like, oh, shites, yeah, for real. So then I started speaking to MediaNet, and then MediaNet basically just said, yeah, I want to be a part of this project. Now, guys, remember, this was 2014. I didn't start until 2016 when I never had no job. I didn't know what I was doing, and I literally was just in this real depressive state of mind, and I just didn't know what I was doing with my life. And then I remember about this idea of doing a talk show, spoke to MediaNet, he said he wants to be a part of it, and I just literally started in my front room.
Mention who MediaNet is, actually, because we know who he is, but...
So MediaNet Live is the guy, his name, big up man like Theo. I told you I'm going to be talking about him. He's here, right? Big up man like Theo. He's cringing like, what's your talk about me? He asked me, Caz, what's your podcast going to be about? I said, Theo, the podcast is about you. Then his partner was like, well, there ain't going to be much to be discussed then, but yeah, it's only going to have a small area. But yeah, so MediaNet basically provides our camera. They do audio, anything that's to do with media editing. They're like the sound band. Literally, they are that, but just on a different side. But he wasn't MediaNet then. It was MediaNet Gospel, I believe it was. And then he then was a Christian. So then it became MediaNet.
Yeah, chatting my business.
We are like,
the thing comes.
No script here. Me, I drink independence, drink rum. But yeah, so that's literally how the journey started. But with the journey, I started off in my front room. Like I said, guys, I wasn't working and I didn't have the money to be getting a big time studio. I didn't even have money to even pay for media to even film. And Theo just said, yeah, boom, I just want to be a part of this. And obviously for him, he was like starting up as well. So we just kind of like just worked hand in hand. And I tell you something, I literally just learned so much about these individual women. And then one day, I interviewed a lady called Paula Powell and Hazel, and literally, Paula was like, oh my God, Caz, you need to do red carpet, you need to do X, Y, Z, and I'm going to be doing this event called a Legacy Gala, and you need to come down there. And I was researching about this Legacy Gala, and I'm thinking, Legacy Gala, and then I saw this queen, but she never known me then. I knew her.
No, but this was at the actual Legacy Gala itself.
No, but this was before the Legacy Gala. This is what I'm trying to say to you, babe. Literally, before the Legacy Gala, Paula told me about coming down there to do just do Vox Pops. And so I Googled Legacy Gala, and then I saw with you guys, you and Kwame, that you had interviewed Marlo, who's the founder of Legacy Gala. And I saw the interview with Janelle and Kwame McPherson, big up yourself, King. And I was like, no, man, I love this woman's energy. So when we reached Legacy Gala, guess what? Listen, so my team did look Chris in it. I'm not saying people them thing never look set up, but my team did look set up. It looked proper good. On point. Man, I look a banner and thing.
I remember.
And you remember. And I met Miss T down there as well.
We both met Miss T down at Legacy Gala. Well. So we have Legacy Gala to thank for.
We do. This legacy going forward.
Right next day.
Literally. So when I met Miss T, I met you first. And then later on, then Janelle came over to my stand and literally was like, oh, what's going on over there? And that's how everything just
came
together.
Yeah. So, as Caz said, Legacy Gala was where it kind of all began, where the now chat show evolution that you see today, where the kind of all of that energy was birthed, and with Miss T in the building as well. So I had just started accidentally presenting and hosting journey at that point.
Because you was doing, was it the Chronicles with...
Yeah, so I was doing a couple of online chat shows. One was Chronicles with Kwame, and then another one was Idyllic TV with a guy called Trevor Griffiths. And literally we just used to kind of interview people and tell stories about people in the community doing great things. And so I was asked to come down to Legacy Gala as well through Paula to do some interviews with some of the patrons. And by the way, if any of you don't know about Legacy Gala, it honours excellence within the black community. It's been going since 2016, so it's been going for, this will be the sixth year. It's an amazing event. So I was down there, had my little setup, working with HMP TV, which Miss T...
That's my ex-partner, Robert Robinson.
But which you were the absolute backbone of.
Yeah, you was the backbone of that.
And so I'm there.
I don't know if he'd agree with you, but hey.
Because I hadn't really done too many interviews before, and I'm standing in the hallway, and I see this vision over in the corner of a Now Chat Show banner, and this beautiful stunning
queen.
empress dressed like an African goddess. And I'm like, I was just drawn to her.
The energy, everything.
She knows I'm talking about her. Anyway, so I'm just drawn to her, and I go over to this lady. This was while the show was happening. We were waiting for all the guests to come out. So I was like, me being my fast self, I was like, so what's going on here then?
Yeah.
Like, what's this? I love this setup. And we got chatting, we really hit it off.
Went into deep conversation.
Deep conversation,
yeah.
You told me about Now Chat Show. I thought it was amazing. I was really inspired. And we just stayed in touch from then, didn't we?
Because literally we was at I was at the V&M Museum, and Janelle was at the V&M Museum, and I'm just minding my own business, just learning about black history, and then I hear somebody call my name, Caz, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know nobody here, and I just see this long, beautiful model, empress just standing there. I was like, rotted, that Janelle that don't. And then not obviously, you wouldn't know, but then you invited me to come over to meet the Eye Commissioner as well. Remember, we went for like coffee and everything else, and we went back, and then that's just literally how the relationship kind of evolved from there. But tell them about the dream.
So our relationship just evolved from there, and I was still doing a bit of presenting and hosting and different bits and pieces for different people. And we developed a really good friendship. And anytime I would be involved in an event, because I put on and curate a lot of events, especially cultural events, I would always invite you guys down. So Caz and Theo, MediaNet, to come and do interviews and capture footage, etc. Like I said, we just developed a really close friendship. And one day I had this dream. Now, I don't want to scare any of you, but I've been known to have a
Prophetic.
few superpowers, a little spidey senses. But anyway, I had this dream, and Caz was in the dream, and we were in this place where it was like a dormitory, and we were all sharing, like there's females sharing this dorm, this room, and I can't remember anybody else whose particular face apart from Caz's. It was really vivid, and Caz, I'd woken up in this dormitory, and Caz was standing over by the far wall, literally with her hands up in the air, almost like she was praying, like facing the wall. And I woke up, and me being my fast self in my dream, said, what are you doing? And she didn't say anything to me. She just beckoned me like this and said, come and join with me. And so I went over and I joined her. But the funny thing about this dream was that I saw exactly what she was wearing in the dream. So she had this long dashiki, kind of African print material, kind of like a coat house dress on, and she had a headscarf on that was animal print, colourful animal print. So I felt compelled to tell you about this dream, Caz. So I ring Caz now and I'm telling her about this dream. I was like, I had this dream. And she's like, what was the dream? And she's kind of listening, but she's like, okay. And then I said, and you were wearing this long dashiki and this animal print headscarf. And she's like, what?
I've got those items. And when Janelle described it, I was like, no, I don't know this woman from nowhere. She don't know people that I know. So it was just, I found it really just like, oh my God, what the heck? Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. I was just like, what does this mean? And we was kind of like trying to figure out what it meant. But to be quite honest, I really strongly believe what the dream was indicating was the Now Chat show. So where she was seeing my hand raised up, it was me, obviously, because remember, the vision came to me, and I believe the vision came from the Most High. So it's obviously with me, because when I go into like my praying, I tend to raise my hand up. And whereas Janelle's asking the question, what you doing? So it's like, what you doing? I'm doing a Now Chat show. Come. So then later on, I spoke to Thea from MediaNet, and I said, look, I need a co-host. Guys are asking me to, they want men on the show. I didn't really feel confident enough to do it by myself, especially interviewing all the mans then, because, anyway, we'll talk about that a bit later. And I then reached out to Janelle and I said, Janelle, look, would you like to be my co-host? I don't know what I was expecting, but she said, yeah. I was like, oh, Lord, yes. And then it was just from then, that was back in what, That was
2017.
Yeah, about 2017.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was about summertime 2017. And then from there, it's just evolved, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, I think what the beauty of Now Chat show is that, and this is what I say to you all the time, Caz, is that it's not just about being out there to be seen, just to be seen, but there's a real purpose behind it. And your strapline is a platform to inspire.
Yeah.
And we believe in having inspiring content, but I've been really inspired by this woman here to go on and just continue to do great things. And you gave me a platform to be on, being your co-host, and Miss T.
Oh my days. Are you going to give them a story about me?
Yeah, so the story with Miss T now. So this was like during the lockdown. And I remember reaching out to you and saying, by then we was both on iLive Radio. Big up yourself, iLive Radio
We'll
UK.
come back to that story, because that's the interesting story as well.
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. But anyway, going back to Miss T, I remember speaking to Miss T. We had spoken a few times. Like every now and then I would phone you when I'd be in Jamaica. I think your father had passed.
That's right.
And you were saying that, your dad passed away, etc. And
having a hard time.
So we just kept up having conversations. But what happened was during the lockdown, I remember reaching out to T and saying, how you doing, etc., etc. And then Janelle, can't remember, you went away.
I was away.
Yeah, you was away in Jamaica. And then I was like thinking, Miss T, I wonder if Miss T wouldn't mind coming, getting involved. So I reached out to Miss T. I said, would you like to come and co-host on radio? Because you say you do radio, right? And T was like, yes. And then
the rest is history.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was basically my ex-partner, because he had a platform, and that's how I met both of you at Legacy.
Yeah.
I was doing some work with Black Sox, big up Black Sox, and saw you both there. Saw you doing your thing, saw Janelle doing her thing, and I was inspired. I was like, look at these queens just doing their thing in front of the camera. Like, wish I could do that. Yeah, be careful what you wish for, okay? Be careful what you wish for. So when you first said to me, Janelle's away, would you like to come and co-host? And I was like, on the radio. Like, I was forced to do things for Robert because he was like, it's my partner, and he was striving to build a business. So he would drag me all over the place and be like, yeah, set up the camera, do this, do the interviews. But it wasn't something that I was really comfortable doing. So you both have inspired me, and you've helped me with my journey and my growth. And I'm so grateful.
Oh, bless you. I'm grateful to both these queens. I don't want to get emotional because I really don't have top-up makeup, and we're going places afterwards. But yeah, but even with that, I mean, because remember, you told me that how when I approached you, you already approached a few different radio stations as well, right?
That's right.
So it was, I didn't know that you had reached out to any radio stations.
Nope.
And I think what I want to say is, you know, just be led by your spirit. Sometimes things may come up to you and you don't even know why it's coming to you. And I would have never thought that I would have been working alongside Janelle or working alongside Miss T. I didn't know that when I was going to go to the Legacy Gala back in 2016 that I was going to meet anybody in particular. I just thought I was just going to go down there and just interview various different Black excellence people. But then it was a thing where the Almighty had a different plan. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of thing. And I say the Almighty because I don't know if you are a believer or not a believer, but I do believe in a higher force, and I believe in Yah. And I know that's who's guiding my step. And the reason why I say I'm not a Christian, because I don't want to box myself in. Yeshua was not a Christian, so I don't see why I'm going to call myself something. If I say that's my, you know, who I believe in, why am I boxing myself into that category? But anyway, that's a different conversation. We'll probably have some conversation about that later on in the year or so. Yeah, so make sure you are subscribed to Now Chat Show, just in case you're not.
That's right.
But yeah.
I'm sure after today they will be.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wanted to come back to the iLive radio story.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think that's a really important story for us to tell. Like Caz explained, a lot of this has just been as we've moved through the journey, things just happen and we're kind of figuring it out as we go along. And it doesn't mean you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
But Caz knows me. I like to be really organized and have a plan. And I'm like,
And you've made me like that. You do know
we
this,
did.
right?
Whereas but
And
I
I'm
think
spontaneous. So you've
Well,
got both.
I've got both the balance.
Yeah. But I think what being with Now Chat Show has allowed me to do is just be free and just to be my true, authentic self,
Yeah.
and to bring myself to the table and not actually to worry too much about how we come across, but just flow in with that energy. And so I talk about that because for us being on iLive Radio, Caz was invited onto iLive Radio for Now Chat Show to do an interview. So the two of us went down to the iLive studio.
Yeah. Yeah, so when
We
we
had an
was
interview,
yeah,
right?
we had an interview, and then literally after the interview, we was then asked, you know,
We were offered a show.
we left with a show, a drive time show.
Drive time
So we
show.
walk
Yeah.
into the radio station for an interview, and we walk out with our very own radio show. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. and
Sorry,
it's just-
award-winning show.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
oh,
I know
yeah.
you lot will forget. Award-winning
Winning
show.
show. Yeah.
Okay.
So we give thanks, don't we?
We do
Because
give
we
thanks.
didn't expect that, and we were both super nervous. I think I was probably even more nervous than you going on to radio, because I was like, oh my gosh, Caz, I can't believe it. Like, how did we end up here? And you know, and usually I'm pretty calm, but I was like, oh my gosh, the very first
Yeah.
broadcast we had, like, I was literally like all in a panic, wasn't I?
You was in a panic, but I think what was beautiful about the how we was thinking at the time is it was all already taken care of. There was nothing to panic about. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying about being beautiful in terms of you're going to just say yes to things, you know, because even if you don't know how it's going to work out, it's always going to work itself out. Does that make sense? So even though I always wanted to do radio, I'm keeping it real.com. Probably I was meant to be on radio. I'm still on radio, but when the opportunity arose to do radio, I didn't realize I was already kind of doing radio in a sense of doing the Now Chat Show. So literally we had a product, we had the brand, we just took it over to radio.
And we were producing,
And we was producing,
our own shows.
DJing. I always wanted to be a DJ from when I was young. I used to have my Wi-Fi. I used to try and do little scratching with my cousin and things like that. But then when Janelle said to me, I'm not into the technical side, and I said, don't worry, I've got this, you know? And literally, I just kind of, I wouldn't say I've mastered it, but I was open to learning. And through me open to learning, then it created other opportunities as well. So I guess what I'm saying, because obviously we're on the title of the content of a creative, the journey of a creative, is that you just got to be open-minded. If you've ever watched a show called Yes Man by Jim Carrey, if you haven't watched it, I beg you go and watch it. Literally, it is just the film, because he literally says yes to everything. And with him saying yes to everything, it just opened more opportunities, more opportunities, more opportunities. And the thing is, we are so scared to do things. I know this because I'm really kind of like talking to myself, even though we're doing a live podcast and I'm trying to like inspire somebody else. I'm actually doing this for myself as well. Is we get so scared of doing things because we don't know how it's going to work out. We want it to be perfect. Yeah, we want it to be a certain way.
You want it to be perfect. You want it to be... You've got this idea of perfection and the end vision, and that's the wrong way to think about it. If you have an idea, and this is what I've really learned along this journey, do you have an idea, you just got to get on and do it, and things will unfold. In all honesty, we knew what we were going to talk about today, but we didn't want to keep it too fixed, did we? We kind of wanted to make it fluid because we just wanted to talk from the heart, and that's where you really connect with people, is talking from the heart. So if there's anybody out there who's thinking about doing anything creative, starting a podcast, starting a chat show, starting a media channel, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, the key is for us is just do it.
Just
really
do it.
Just get on and do it. I mean, we got a few tips about, like, we wrote a few notes down. We didn't really, or I did really, because Caz knows me, right?
She sent the notes, and I just said, BJ, in case you want to know what BJ stands for, Bossy Janelle. Yeah, that's she.
I own it.
She owns it. So basically, just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, like whether you want to be a musician, whether you're a poet, whatever it is, just do it. Look at what is your brand? What is your brand? What do you want to represent? What is it that you're basically just putting out there to other people? Because remember, with your content, people will remember you from your content as well. So make sure your content, whatever it is that you're looking to produce, is a true reflection of who you are. Not what everybody else is doing, what you are about. I mean, authentic. I could have gone into like doing gossip. I love gossip. I'm not even gonna lie. But then I thought to myself,
be specific though. You're not just talking about gossip about your neighbours. Come on,
where
down the road.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of gossip. But I mean like gossip in terms of like celebrities. You know, just the normal things that we're into. And then you just have the bloggers and people on the street talking about the Real Housewife of Atlanta and all that kind of stuff. That is my interest. But to me, it's not inspiring me. And the reason why I say it's not inspiring me, and I'm not coming for you people that love it, because I still watch them shows there.
Love it.
Love it. But it doesn't inspire me. It's just a way for me to escape for a moment. But what I like is to hear content from real people who have made a transition in their life. They've transformed their lives, and they've come from like the bottom of the pit and they've flipped it. Those are the kind of people that we need to hear from and learn from, so that we know that how, you know what, I'm not perfect, but guess what? I can be somebody. I am somebody. And those are the types of people that we have on the show. So with regards to your brand, going back to what I was just saying, make sure your brand, it is a true reflection of who you are. Don't try and mirror somebody else. Just be yourself. And also accept yourself. You know, this is one of the things that I do all the time now. I always say I love and I approve myself. I accept myself. I am enough. I have to say these things because I can't rely on the world to tell me that I'm enough. I need to know within myself that I am enough. And the majority of the time, Janelle, Miss T, even today, them like have to say, come Caz, let's pray. Because they don't say the praying thing is my thing, because that will just calm me down. Because sometimes, like you have these conversations in your head, like you have that imposter syndrome. Oh, they're going to find out I'm not this person. I can't do this. All that kind of stuff that's going in your head. It's important that you surround yourself with the right right people around you, but most importantly, you are actually telling yourself and being your own cheerleader, affirming certain things. I am enough. You know, I love and I approve myself and things like that. So
That's really
Important.
that's a really key
Integral.
important part of the brand and building
Yeah.
your brand is like having your, you know, really being authentic. Like I said,
Self-belief.
self-belief, but I think we're going to touch on self-belief a bit more. Being brave, being yourself, being authentic, and asking yourself, what do you stand for, right,
Yeah.
Miss T? Like,
Absolutely.
there's loads of other things. But
So like I wanted to touch on the being authentic because I haven't trained in anything creative. Literally when Caz said to me, come because Janelle's not around, like just come and be my co-host. And I was like, okay, I've done co-hosting with one of my other mates. So I've got an idea of what I need to do. But I remember being so nervous, like, oh my days, what am I doing here? Because I just said yes, right? And I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't want to let my girl down. So I just turned up, and remember the first few weeks, I was so quiet because I
Yeah.
was just watching, trying to think, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't remember everything. But I think the third week, I was like, just be yourself, man.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
your personality. That's all you need is to just be your authentic self. And you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, going back to what you just said, because when you think about society, right, when you think about you going into the workplace, you automatically then become somebody that you're not. You have to just dim down yourself. You can't talk the way you want to
Innit?
walk.
Shrink up, shrink
can't-
up.
It's like, good afternoon. Do you know what I mean? So you're becoming somebody that you're not. So when you're asked to do something that is in a creative space, you think, oh, have I got to be like how I am in a workplace?
or do I have to be a certain way? I think.
Yeah. And the truth is,
No.
all you have to do is be yourself. People are investing in people being themselves.
True.
Do you know what I mean? It's not about you trying to be like, say, Judy Love or be like, I don't know, whoever, or the Kofi or Chronics or whoever. Just be your true, authentic self, because once you turn up being yourself,
That's where the
be-
magic.
Mate,
That's where the
That's
magic
where the
happens.
magic is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because what it is showing people is who you are. Like, every now and then, I will do the mad thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's just who I am. I'm mad like that. I can't help who I am. Even when I like it, and I just switch off and I go somewhere else. Do you know? Well, I'm
Simple
not asking you
things.
to do that now.
You're
Just
not-
stay
not
with
right
me,
now.
please, I beg.
But you know, the other thing is, when we talk about brand, it just needs to be as simple as, what do you stand for? Like,
Absolutely.
What are your values?
Yep.
Because your brand will evolve, and now Chat Show has evolved, and it's evolved beautifully.
Yeah.
And it's provided so many opportunities for so many people, not just us here,
Yeah.
but so many other people who aren't here, so many people who watch the show, so many people who can't wait for the next bit of content, who get little snippets of information, advice, encouragement. And I think the beauty about what you've been able to create and bringing us on board too is that we don't even know the extent of who we're reaching, but
It's
we
true.
are reaching people because we are giving that bit of ourselves.
Essence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That real essence. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about spirituality. I mean, we're all spiritual.
Yes.
But I just want you to speak a little bit more about that and how you believe that weaves into like the brand in terms of spirituality.
Okay, so in terms of spirituality and how it's impacted myself, like 2020, the lockdown, I know it was huge for everybody, but in particular for myself, it was a time for me to kind of like slow down, go inside myself, and actually start to practice the things that I've been wanting to do. And so when you said to me, like, come on board, I had a major panic attack, like, why is she asking me? Like, what is this all about? And I had to have that conversation with the Most High, like, what am I actually doing with my life? Like, I don't know, really, I'm not happy in my 9 to 5. I'm not happy with certain areas of my life. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to trust you. I'm going to trust that I'm on the right path and everything's going to work out. And everything has worked out. But in terms of the sisterhood that we have formed, like, I can't think of doing something without calling Caz, or, you know, if Janelle's going out, sending her a text, like, part of my tribe. And the people that I had around me before that I thought were my tribe weren't actually my tribe. And they actually, when I started to do more things with yourself, they actually started to drop off. So it was like I attracted what I had put, what I wanted to manifest. I decided, okay, I gave up work, stopped going to work. I was like, okay, this is a new journey. And I'm so just excited to experience and say yes to everything, so long as it was feeling right for me, for my spirit, so long as it fitted in with my journey. And since I have been on the journey with Now Chat Show, just the people that we've even interviewed and how they've inspired my life and how they've confirmed a lot of the things that I was doing kind of like in secret. So like meeting your Dr. Amsu, Mr. Breaks, Tashai, what do you call it, Dark Charm Records. Just having those interactions has just kind of helped me spiritually to grow and believe, like, you know what? The things that you do at home in your closet that nobody else can see or hear, they're so important. Like, they become the building blocks to what your future is and what the legacy is that you want to create. So whatever you're doing, like, don't feel like, oh, it's not happening quick enough. I'm praying, but I can't see anything. Just keep positive. Write it down. That's a key thing. Sorry. It is key to write down what your plans are and what you want to manifest.
Definitely.
Get yourself a notebook. And even if you just journal and say, right, this is how I'm feeling today. This is what I want to achieve. You might not do it within, the week or the month, but every day that you work towards something is progress. So I don't believe in perfection. I believe in working towards progressing yourself positively. And just because you might not do it in the time scale that you have set, sometimes it might take a few more months. Sometimes it might just happen straight away. But you've just got to remain really positive. And when I say spirituality is not, for me, is not about going to church. It's not just about reading the Bible. It's about being in touch with people, places, things like nature. Absolutely, Janelle. You know how I feel about nature. So every now and then, it's important to take yourself away, even from the people that you really, really love and you trust, and just be by yourself. But learn to trust yourself.
Yeah. And also, can I just, what you were saying about, your tribe and everything, we was talking about this yesterday. People that's in your life, whether they're, still a part of your journey or they've dropped off, still have gratitude for those individuals in your life. Absolutely. Like, I want to big up like people like Petula, Serena, all these individuals that was a part of my beginning of my Now Chat Show journey. I could never ever not remember these people that sacrificed and put their time in, and even people before them, before I even started the journey of Now Chat Show, because they're all a part of each other's journey. Like, 1 minute we're in each other's season, next minute we're not. We're always going to be learning all the time about different people. So, and learning about ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And that's the beauty about having different experiences with different individuals, because it helps you to grow and to become the person that you're supposed to become. So it's like being in a bad relationship, a toxic relationship. You got to learn from that. Like, why was I in that relationship? Oh, actually, maybe there was a part of me that was quite toxic. Hence the reason why I was attracting it. And it's not that you're trying to disregard whoever and say whatever, but normally it's there to teach you something. And you just got to be at peace and let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. I love you and I let you go and I release you.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah, it's all about the journey.
It's part of the evolution. And as you evolve, your brand will evolve. But there's things that, like you said, you've got to remain true to yourself, be aligned. It's all about alignment, being aligned with your spirit and your purpose and your journey, knowing what you stand for, having that passion, being brave. Absolutely. And having self-belief. We said we come back to self-belief. It sounds so easy. It's two simple words, and oh my gosh.
Why?
Self-belief is tough. Because you doubt. We're full of doubts and fears and questioning, but fear is the enemy of progress. Fear is the enemy of love. You've got to love yourself.
Appearing to be real.
That's right.
Thank you. And consistency.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Consistency is key. Like, I cannot even stress it. When I first started off doing Now Chat Show, I was like on this like religiously, like every Sunday, come like I was going to church, I was doing Now Chat Show every single week. the numbers were so high. And then I had like some moments in my life where I just couldn't do the show. Like, I was going through my mental health challenges. I didn't feel like I was good enough. I was comparing myself. And you know when like, right, okay, so you know when you get comments from people and they're like, oh my God, that show was so good, I really was inspired by that person, etc. Then you get that one person, oh my God, who does she think she is? Why is she singing like that? Why is she da-da-da-da? And you just like hate her, and then next minute you just find yourself like this, oh my God, they think that I am terrible. And you just latch onto that one negative voice.
Yeah.
You disregard everybody else and you latch onto that one negativity. What I would say is just delete, just delete it so you don't see it, remove it, and just keep it moving. But be consistent. Regardless of how you're feeling, make sure you surround yourself with people that is cheering for you. Tell them how you're feeling. Have the conversation. Don't keep it inside of you, because sometimes what that then does is it just basically just stop. How many of us start something and then stop?
But I think it's also important to have, like you said, about having those people around you who are going to push you and encourage you and check in with you and keep you accountable, because sometimes it's hard for us to keep ourselves accountable. So, you know, Caz, you'll say to me, oh, have you done X, Y, Z, and what's going on? Or I'll tell you I'm doing something, you'll be really encouraging. Or Miss T, we were out yesterday and you were telling me all of the beautiful things that are manifesting in your life, and I'm like, yes, girl. And this is really key about who is in your circle. You've got to check your circles, and don't be afraid to ask for help, ask for support, and to talk to those people, because it's going to be your day one day to maybe need that support from somebody, but then the next day you're going to be given that support, and it's a real two-way street. But yeah, I think building your brand is just about the things that we've spoken about. I don't think there's any necessarily secret formula. It's just about understanding what do you want to stand for? What do you want to promote?
Yeah, but what, you know, like when you pass away, what do you want people to be talking about in your eulogy? What do you want people's tributes to be saying about you? So whatever it is that you desire, that you want people to be saying about you at your funeral, because we're all going to die, and I'm not trying to sound all depressing, but it's a fact. Make sure you are writing a narrative of that story. If that's what you want to be read and be heard about you, the true you, then start writing your own narrative and become that, because you already are.
Yeah. That goes nicely on to the kind of the last thing we want to leave you with before we all give you a few hints and tips, and you know, hopefully it makes sense to you and hopefully it will help. But is, as Caz said, what's your legacy? So choosing your content, making sure your content is great, and you know, your strapline is a platform to inspire. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about how you chose that strapline.
Oh my gosh, how did I choose? I was actually speaking with a lady called Katrina Douglas, and I was saying to her that I basically, Now Chat Show, No Ordinary Woman, is a platform where people are going to be inspired. And it was like, oh, it's a platform to inspire. It literally was so simple as that, because the platform is just to inspire you, me, whoever. But what I was finding for myself, I know you asked me about how did the strapline, the title, come about, is certain times I was doing my show and I was just not inspired. I had to stop. Like, I had to go back to the drawing board and find out what is my why. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing the things I'm doing? Because it's great to produce content, but it has to make sense as well at the same time. So when I say it has to make sense at the same time, because you may find that how when you're going through certain things yourself as an individual, there's like how many other thousand people going through exactly the same thing.
That's right.
You know, there's nothing new under the sun. So I was finding, like, even of recent, we've been talking about Brexit, people wanting to leave UK to go to Ghana, go to the Caribbean, etc. And I found a whole movement of all these people that are doing it, and having them on the phone, having them on the show, and even Tremaine, who's here with us now, big up yourself, Queen. I connected with her through my friend Nano, big up yourself, King, who also made a move to Ghana, and Tremaine's moved to Jamaica, but she's here on a little vacation at the moment. Yeah, vacation, imagine, in UK. But anyway, yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that how, because I really have a desire to move back home to Jamaica, I started then connecting with other people. And with me connecting with other people, then I started to meet other people globally that then came onto the show to then inspire other people. So basically, that is literally what I just said. I want it to be a platform to inspire. I need it to inspire other people. I need it to uplift people, not just uplift myself. It needs to uplift other people as well.
And I think that was the starting place, really, about that inspiration that you wanted to provide. And that's basically one of the things that I'd certainly would share with others is, you know, the importance of what message you want to put out there in terms of your content. What are you trying to say? And make sure it's consistent with your brand, with the look and feel, and it's all about the detail. You know, what are you trying to say? What message do you want to send out there? Who do you want to inspire? Who are your audience? What do you want to be remembered for? So what's your legacy? Because like you said, Caz, like all of that stuff that we put out there is going to be there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, really, available. So, you know, how do you want to be remembered? What impact do you want to have? And one thing for sure that we've discovered, well, I've definitely discovered, but I'm sure you've both discovered, is that inspiring content is in demand.
It is in demand. But sometimes I don't feel like it is in demand.
You know the reason why I feel... Miss T, it's in demand, isn't it?
Demand,
I wish I could see people's comments, but obviously I can't. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I know it's in, I sometimes think to myself that people are more moved to like the negativity, the gossip and things like that. Whereas when you have good content, information that's going to uplift you and it's going to educate you, unless you're like, say, like a celebrity or somebody like that, then people will be more in tune with you. Do you get what I'm saying?
But the thing is, once you put it out there, it's out there for the people that are looking.
Yeah.
There's always going to be people that are looking and will gravitate to certain things. Like, did you know that the Black Sit talks were going to be so amazing?
No,
Did you
I
know
didn't.
that through doing that you were going to build a network? And networking is really, really important as well.
Yeah.
Get out there. If you've got a particular something, it doesn't even get out and meet people, network, talk to people, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You might speak to, like, for example, meeting you ladies, it's because through Robert, like, yes, ex-partner, but I'm so grateful because if I wasn't following him to do his thing while he was networking, I wouldn't have met you ladies.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do believe that when you're seeking, you will find.
That's right. And that's exactly what I was thinking, and that's a really crucial point, because I hear what you're saying, but is your content for the people who want gossip? Then maybe it's not. Do you see what I mean?
I suppose it's finding your audience, isn't it?
Yeah. But people will always gravitate to whatever kind of excites them, right? And there are many people out there who are excited by inspiring content. And like you said, Miss T, like from the Black Sit series, you know, that we really discovered that, you know, and you built a network from that.
True.
So I think, you know, make your content relatable is what I would say, so that people can resonate with it. Some people might resonate with celebrity gossip because they want to be like the celebrity. But some people resonate with other things, you know. So just make it resonate and give people the opportunity, I think, is one of the important things that we've discovered. Give people the opportunity to interact with your content, whether that be through live streams, through comments, because you're trying to reach an audience and you know, leave people with inspiring stories.
And you want to build a community, you know, and interacting with your audience, then you are building that community. It's like, say, who is it? Lisa Nichols, great motivational, transformational speaker. She's my big sister, she's my mentor, but she doesn't know me in real life. But anyway.
Not
you
yet.
might after this.
Not yet.
But even with what she's done, she's created a village of people that is basically on a similar journey to where she's coming from, and she has that interaction. And from listening to her, I'm learning little things about the importance of interacting. So even when we're doing a live stream through StreamYard or whatever it is that we're generally using, I'm going to big you up. We're going to have that interaction with you. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I want you to know that we see you as well as you see us. You're a part of this whole journey. We're on this journey together. It's just the platform is there to inspire those that needs to be inspired.
I couldn't have said it better myself. We're gonna actually wrap up soon.
Definitely.
But before we do, there's a couple of little tidbits we want to leave you with. One of the things that I wrote it down, because this is what I do. I write stuff down. Sorry guys, I'm just that person.
Don't apologise.
Don't
I'm
apologise,
not
babe.
apologising. All right, I wrote it down.
DJ,
I'm
man,
happy I wrote
DJ.
it down. Is none of it makes sense, And then all of a sudden, one day, everything falls into place and it just makes sense and continues to make sense. So don't worry if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, like, should I be doing this? You're going to have those days. It is not going to make sense until it makes sense. Just trust the process.
Definitely. It didn't make sense when I had the vision to do Now Chat Show, not Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I didn't, like I said, I wasn't even working. I was in depression. I was going through so many obstacles in my life, but I literally just used what I had in my hand. And I had a roof over my head and I had a front room. And we had SETI and we knew somebody with a camera.
And a computer.
And a computer. I mean, you just make the thing work. So it's just starting with what you've got, you know, and everything else will just fall into its place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like baking a cake or cooking a meal. Like, all the ingredients separately are just ingredients, but when you put them together and you add your little seasoning and stuff, it all comes together.
Yeah.
So that's my analogy.
Thank you. Well, listen, we just got a few little words to leave with you. I think one of the things Caz mentioned before is people will come and go, and that's okay. For a time and for a season, there are some people, but always express gratitude for every person, every opportunity, every interaction, every situation, every blessing.
Every lesson.
And every lesson, because sometimes a lesson may come through adversity.
Yeah.
I think once you begin to explore the talents that are within you, that's where the magic happens. That's where the flower really begins to bloom.
And keep striving, keep believing, keep believing in yourself. And even when you have those off days, because trust me, have them days regular.
We all do.
Just have your affirmations there, journal. At the moment, I am doing like journaling, and it's a journal. I write a journal. I write a message to God every single day, where I just give 10 things that I'm grateful for. So it could be just, I'm grateful for the bed that I just slept in. I'm grateful that I have running water. It's just simple little things. And then also just having these affirmations, you could just plot it all around, little post-it notes.
Yep,
just, I am enough, I'm beautiful, I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. Good things are going to be happening to me today. Today is a great day. Even if the rain is falling down, it's still a great day. Anyway, it's not raining right now, so let me keep calm. But I think I should be an actress or a comedian or something. What do you think? Anyway, yeah, let's stick to this. Yeah, so Miss T.
Celebrate the small wins. Like, anything that happens, it comes back to gratitude. Just be grateful for it. Like, doesn't matter how minuscule you think it is, just give thanks, because if you can't give thanks for the small wins, what are you going to do when the big stuff comes? You're going to be overwhelmed. So, you know, it will come.
You might lose focus as well. We all do. We all kind of veer to the left. That's right, actually. Veer to the right, veer to the left. We all lose focus, and that's okay. But make sure when those moments happen, you go back to your why. Go back to your why. What's your purpose? What's your reason? What's your passion?
And watch your own content. If you are a YouTuber, anybody that is in the media, because obviously we are in a media space right now, we are in a media mecca. So guys, make sure you watch back your content. The reason why it's important that you watch back your content, not for you to criticize yourself, but look at where you may need to improve. And secondly, sometimes I watch back my content, I'm like, damn girl, that was a good show. Like, you
great.
Because sometimes the chat is going in your head and you think, boy, I never did this and I didn't do that. And when you actually watch back, you're like, and then you start learning it, because now, even though you was present, like we're present in this conversation, then watch it back. Yeah, for real, I can write down, make that note there.
Right.
You know, and that's what it's supposed to be doing. We're constantly learning all the time, and you'll be surprised about the wisdom that you already have inside of you.
Absolutely. And that's growth as well, because that's one of the things that I was frightened to do, was to watch myself and to listen to myself, because I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, you done that, oh, you made this face.
Self-consciousness,
like,
isn't it?
Self-consciousness, but I'm just like, but you know what? I think real people like to see real people, and that's what I said to myself, like, you're not trained. You have just just jumped into this, and it's okay. So as you go along, you learn, you pick up tips. Caz is always giving me tips. Janelle gives me tips, and it's just growth.
And you give me tips as well. We give each other tips.
We do. We feed
because we're all a part of a journey. Do you know what I mean? No one's more supreme than the other. We are all equal because we all have our own giftings. We've got our own talents that comes to the table.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean, kind of thing. So just be your true, authentic self.
Yeah.
Turn up and be yourself.
And the last little tip, we hope you've gained so much from what we've been able to deliver to you today, but the last tip that I've got here is don't be afraid to promote yourself and your own brand, because if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. So
I've had so much fun.
In a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah. We really hope you've enjoyed what we've been able to deliver to you today. We hope you found it useful.
I found it useful when I watched the replay.
Watch your own content. But no, it's been, thank you very much to the Sound Bank for having us today. Thank you to all the people who are here live watching us today. Thank you to you at home watching. Thank you to the technical guys. Thank you to Caz for bringing us into this Now Chat show space. Thanks to the Most High. And guys, you know.
And make sure you tune in this Wednesday. Make sure
Plug
if you're not subscribed to the channel, why? You're not gonna cuss, you're not.
Just give them the people them details.
Just go to Now Chat Show, and if you're watching us on a live stream, then you're good because you've got the notification button going on. So big up yourself, but make sure you share the content, share everything, anything that's really ministered to you, blessed you. Please do share, because sharing is caring. I cannot stop stressing that. And yeah, just continue to just turn up, just be yourself, be your true, authentic self.
That's the message.
People, be blessed.
This is Caz Mac.
Janelle Raeburn
Miss T.
Well,
we out.
Isn't it?
Laters.